Don't make people into heroes, John. Heroes don't exist, and if they did, I wouldn't be one of them.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the once-loved TV characters whose development over time led to many viewers coming to dislike them.
You got the devil inside you, boy.
No, I think it's just me.
Number 10, Ted Mosby, How I Met Your Mother. He may be the protagonist of this sitcom, but Ted's 9-season-long story about how he first met his kid's mom sours viewers on the man himself over time. Ted continually pursues shallow relationships with women who are objectively wrong for him. His obsession with Robin in particular is arguably a detriment to the entire show.
I changed my mind. I don't want to meet her.
Why? She sounds perfect.
I don't want perfect. I want Robin.
Oh, God, not this again, Ted. It's a mistake.
Maybe. But it's a mistake I have to make.
His sanctimonious attitude towards his friend Barney's promiscuity, while engaging in most of the same behavior as well as his general pretentiousness, are also rather irritating.
What the hell is wrong with you, dude?
I mean, I lose things.
You kissed a married woman, Ted. You committed credit card fraud. You kissed a married woman. Do you know how offensive that is to me? You're turning into Barney. We don't need another Barney.
Ted's romance with the titular mother is admittedly sweet once the show gets around to it, but by then, Ted lived up to his Mosby nickname.
Mosby's designs has failed. But Alex and Jessica's love reminds us that... Oh, God.
Classic Mosby.
Number 9, Izzy Stevens, Grey's Anatomy.
What about me? What about me when you go to the light?
Izzy.
No, I get it, okay? I get it. You'll be okay. You'll be fine. But what about me? So don't do it for yourself. Do it for me.
Given how long it's been running, you could argue that many Grey's Anatomy characters get worse over time, but few are as disliked as Izzy Stevens. Although initially popular for her humor and dedication to her patients, Izzy started to fall out of favor after a series of questionable storylines.
I'm Bambi. I'm Bambi, George, okay? If anyone in this situation is a sad little cartoon character, it's me. I'm all alone in the forest, George. And my mother's been shot by a hunter, and where are you?
Between violating the Hippocratic Oath to save a patient, her ill-received relationship with her best friend George, and whatever the hell that ghost sex thing was, the writers really made some strange choices with her. Add in her increasingly condescending attitude, and it's no surprise why fans, and even actress Katherine Heigl, came to dislike Izzy.
I think I have the flu, or maybe it's food poisoning.
You're sweating.
Yeah, I'm hot. And cold, hot and cold. I have the chills. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go back to bed.
You didn't sound like you were sleeping.
Number 8, Piper Chapman, Orange is the New Black.
Rory, look, I cannot be responsible for you right now. I have to be pragmatic. That's it, you're throwing me to the wolves.
I wouldn't say I'm
Throwing you to them, I would say that wolves exist, which I am helpless to defend you against.
It's generally helpful to have a viewpoint character for audiences when depicting an unfamiliar environment. Piper Chapman fills this role wonderfully in the show's first season as the protagonist. However, as the series went on, Piper began to feel less and less relevant as the ensemble of other characters proved more interesting and relatable. Plus, her toxic relationship with Alex and joining up with some white supremacists certainly did her no favors.
I want you to go and be happy. And free.
Alex, you're not a detour from my life. You are my life.
It's like the writers just decided what to do with her at random. Even Piper's actress Taylor Schilling has admitted that her character's actions can feel arbitrary rather than intentional.
I am not that self-destructive.
Aren't you?
No! I am heartbroken. And I do not know what to do.
Number 7, Will Schuester, Glee. He may have gotten the Glee Club together, but this teacher made fans significantly less gleeful over time. From his mediocre grasp of the subjects he teaches to how complacent he is about bullying in the school, Mr. Shu is really not a good teacher.
You'll get kicked out of school. You'll lose your football scholarship.
Wait, I had a football scholarship to where?
You could land in prison, son.
Oh, my God. Please, don't tell my mom.
Look, I see a lot of myself in you, Finn. I know what it's like to struggle to make good life choices.
His creepy level of involvement in his students' lives, his blatant favoritism, and many of his song choices are also rather problematic.
It was you. You're the one who complained to Principal Figgins about me.
Yeah, and I do it all over again after that performance.
You're messing with adult things here, Santana. This is my job. This is my life.
This is my education, and it's not a joke to me, although it seems to be one to you.
The show putting Will on a pedestal despite his many failings only makes them stand out more. It's no wonder everyone sided more with Sue over him in their ongoing feud.
It's called the First Amendment, Sue. This is about freedom of expression.
Well, then feel free to express that out loud as you pace the floors of your dingy, lonely apartment. Because you, Will Schuster, are fired.
I am not leaving. And I will be appealing this to the school board.
Number 6, Rory Gilmore. Gilmore Girls and Gilmore Girls: A Year in the Life. Fans began this series loving the precocious Rory Gilmore and her witty banter with her friends and mother. However, after going off to college, Rory becomes downright insufferable.
That one looks good.
Yeah?
Nice and seaworthy.
Not ours to take.
That ever stopped you before?
I think I've been a bad influence on you, Ace.
Let's go, Huntsberger.
Let's go.
She engages in multiple affairs, steals a yacht, drops out of Yale, and takes everyone around her for granted.
I'm ordering 300 hours of community service to be completed in no more than 6 months and 1 year's probation.
But I can't do 300 hours. I have to get a job.
Well, add that to your list of things you should have thought about before you decided to joyride on someone else's boat.
There are plenty of characters who believe their own hype out there, but Rory's continual entitlement and inability to learn from her mistakes makes her hard to watch for many. Even the revival nearly 10 years after the series finished didn't manage to improve Rory.
Look, we have an agreement. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
We do.
And when we leave Vegas, we forget about Vegas until we're back in Vegas, and then it's just us in Vegas until we're not. Throw me a rope, man.
Number 5, Fiona Gallagher, Shameless. Look, the whole Gallagher clan is honestly pretty terrible at one point or another, but we had such high hopes for Fiona.
She left! I was 9! 9 and taking care of you. Taking care of all of us.
In the early seasons, she's often the lone voice of reason in the family, effectively raising her siblings in her parents' places. However, while it could be argued that many of the other characters become better people, Fiona only gets worse, and unlike many of them, she knows better.
Please tell him that I love him, okay? And I'm so sorry. Please, Lip.
Trying to stop the construction of a homeless shelter, leaving drugs out that her kid brother nearly overdoses on, and her absolutely disastrous romantic life are just a few things that bring Fiona down. And she tops it all off by walking out on her family.
I did it all, Frank.
Well, that helps you sleep better.
Number 4, Bran Stark, Game of Thrones. If you want to substitute Daenerys Targaryen for this entry in your head, we'd understand.
What about everyone else? All the other people who think they know what's good.
They don't get to choose.
However, her downfall is a bit more abrupt. Bran, on the other hand, took years to become broken, figuratively speaking.
It was you. You made the White Walkers.
We were at war. We were being slaughtered. Our sacred trees cut down. We needed to defend ourselves.
From whom?
From you.
Although Bran's exploration of the more mystical side of Westeros proved interesting at first, his ascension to become the three-eyed raven felt more like a descent. His monotone voice and complete lack of emotions left fans feeling disappointed by a once promising character.
Bran!
I'm not really. Not anymore. I remember what it felt like to be Brandon Stark. But I remember so much else now.
And by the time Tyrion claimed Bran should be king by virtue of having the best story, we could only scratch our heads and wonder what show he's been watching.
All hail Bran the Broken, first of his name, king of the Andals and the first men, lord of the 6 kingdoms, and protector of the realm.
Number 3, Jax Teller, Sons of Anarchy. As the series protagonist, we're initially rooting for Jax as he grapples with his own morality and the violent lifestyle embraced by his motorcycle club. However, as Jax obtains more power in the club and experiences some heartbreaking losses, he embraces violence and revenge.
I need you to get off the bike. Shots fired.
His selfishness and need to put his idea of the club ahead of its actual members leaves him with few allies by the series' end.
The people I've hurt. That's a false pardon. It's dangerous. And it's selfish.
While far from being the only TV anti-hero to become a full-on villain, Jax's descent into darkness is also less satisfying than some others we could name. And forcing your ex to take drugs after she was able to stop using them, that's just vile, dude.
I got him home safe.
Yeah, and you would think that with a close call like that it might have motivated you to get the hell out of this. But instead, no, what do? You knock her up, spit out another kid, and throw your entire family against the chaos.
Number 2, Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock.
Bored.
What?
Bored.
No.
Bored. Bored.
There's an argument to be made that the show itself was ruined over time, and the titular characters certainly suffered as well. Sherlock isn't exactly empathetic to begin with. As a self-described high-functioning sociopath, yet he seemingly becomes more human over time, even if his deductions are increasingly ridiculous.
Once I'd invited Moriarty onto the roof. I wanted to avoid dying, if at all possible. The first scenario involved hurling myself into a parked hospital van filled with washing bags. Impossible. The angle was too steep. Secondly, a system of Japanese wrestling.
You know, for a genius, you can be remarkably thick.
What?
I don't care how you faked it, Sherlock. I want to know why.
But then he continues to use, drug, manipulate, and recklessly endanger the people who care about him. And that wouldn't be so bad if there were some kind of consequences for his actions. But time and again, Sherlock is forgiven for everything he does to people. And while some fans are willing to forgive too, not all of us are.
Mycroft.
Hello, little brother. How's the exile going?
I've only been gone 4 minutes.
Well, I certainly hope you've learned your lesson. As it turns out, you're needed.
For God's sake, make up your mind.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, Dexter Morgan, Dexter franchise.
I've had a bad week. My wife died and it was my fault.
Given that he's a psychopathic serial killer who hunts other killers, Dexter isn't exactly the best person to start with. However, his gradual discovery of his own humanity is compelling, at least at first. However, after his wife's death, the spark kinda went out of both Dexter and the show that bears his name. His strict code of killing only the deserving becomes far looser.
Oh, please, you don't have to do this. That's what I'm realizing. I don't have to, but I want to. Even though you don't meet my code, I really want to.
Dexter's attempts at finding human connection ring hollower. He and the show just seem to drift from one thing to the next. Even a revival and prequel spinoff haven't managed to recapture that old magic for the character or the franchise.
I've never really felt love. Real love. Until now.
Is there a TV character who got worse whose absence destroyed our list? Help make our next one better by telling us your picks in the comments down below.